I made a cheeseburger burrito with 46 grams of protein, and even though it might get me in trouble in the comment section, I still think this is great and you need to try it out. Starting off with the protein source, you need 180 grams of extra lean ground beef. This particular one has 5% fat and half the calories of regular ground beef, which usually has 20% fat, so it's really worth buying in terms of calories. Next is a large 25 cm or 10-inch wheat tortilla. If you only have access to medium-sized tortillas, you need to split the recipe into 2 burritos as they are a bit too small. Next are the fillings, and I'm going with classic cheeseburger toppings. Chop up 1 yellow onion, this weighs about 50 grams, then slice up 2 pieces of Roman lettuce and a handful of small tomatoes. You can also add pickles if you want here, but for me that's it. Next up is the cheese, and I'm gonna use 160 calorie slice of American cheese made out of cheddar. This is in my opinion the only proper cheese to use for a cheeseburger. Finally, the sauce, and I will keep it simple. Place a glass on the scale and start with light mayonnaise. This has only 1/3 of the calories of regular mayo and tastes almost the same, so this is really great stuff. 15 grams goes into the glass, followed up by sriracha, the famous spicy sauce from Asia. You need 15 grams as well, but you can also swap this out for ketchup, which is also available in a zero added sugar version. This has only 44 calories per 100 grams, which is incredible for a condiment, and I highly recommend it. Mix the sauce and set it aside. Now, a cheeseburger cooked in either a stainless steel or a cast iron pan will develop the best crust and thus flavor, so use one if you have it. However, you can also use a standard non-stick pan if that's what you have at home. Just know the crust won't be as good as with a stainless steel, for example. Add 2 grams of oil to the pan on medium heat and prepare a piece of parchment paper beside it, and already prepare a tortilla on top of that. I like to stir fry the onions instead of adding them raw into the burrito. Add a pinch of salt and saute them for 3 minutes until they slowly become translucent and then start to caramelize and get brown spots. This tastes amazing with ground beef. Once they've caramelized, push them to the side of the pan, add 2 grams of oil and then the beef, and also place a small piece of parchment paper on top of the meat. You can now press the meat down with a spatula, and anything that is heavy, I'm using my bottle of olive oil. Smashing the meat like this creates a larger surface area for browning, which gives a ton of flavor. This is how smashed burgers are made. And because of the parchment paper, the spatula doesn't stick, so you can just pull it off. Season with a good pinch of salt, black pepper and garlic powder, and after 1 minute, flip the meat. And this is what I mean, you have still some browning from the smashing technique. However, this is not nearly as good as with a stainless steel. After another minute, break up the meat and combine it with the onions so everything is well incorporated. You can switch off the heat now, then take the cheese slice, rip it into pieces and add it to the pan for 1 minute or so it can melt. At this stage, put the tomatoes and lettuce on top of the tortilla, then add the prepared sauce, followed up by the cheesy beef. This should be exactly enough for 1 large tortilla. Next, roll the tortilla into a burrito shape. What I like doing is to push the filling to the lower half, flip the sides to the middle and roll it up, and as you near the end, keep tucking the sides in so it stays closed. Finally, add it back to the pan with a tiny bit of oil and move it around. The oil helps create a great crust and also will help sealing it, and always add a pinch of salt to the outside of the burrito. It really makes a difference in flavor. Toast all sides until you get a nice crispy crust, then remove it from the pan and wrap it tightly in the parchment paper. This cheeseburger burrito takes about 12 minutes in total, and it tastes really amazing. You have to try it out. The entire burrito comes in at 593 calories with 46 grams of protein. I made a cookbook that helped me go from this to this without even thinking about being on a diet. I'm sure it can do the same for you. It has over 220 recipes at this point, which are constantly updated, and once you've purchased it, you get every update for free. The link is in the description, as well as my extra virgin olive oil that I made myself in Greece. The link is down below too.